You guys, they should change their name to Ubislog. Just saying. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, a game made by Massive Entertainment, a company owned by Ubisoft. But how does this game shape up next to other open world games within the genre? How well does it immerse you into the world of Avatar, and how did I like the game as a whole? Let's find out. But first and foremost, if you've been watching my content for a little bit, please consider subscribing. I post content weekly, and you don't want to miss a thing. Thanks. Graphics and performance. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora is what I would consider a beautiful game, and it has great polish for a game created by Ubisoft. The game comes with your basic 2 graphics modes on console, a quality mode which has a locked 30 frames per second at 4K resolution, which for a first-person shooter can make the gameplay quite clunky at times, and I would really steer clear of this graphics settings for this game. Then there's the performance mode, which maintains 60 frames per second at low resolution. Now, I primarily play performance mode like I always do, and I will say that at times, especially while flying, the game did have trouble maintaining 60 frames per second. But frame rate issues aside, the game overall is a work of art, and is quite the achievement. Game length. Now, with full transparency, I haven't finished the entirety of Avatar's Frontiers of Pandora. In my 25 hours within the game, I unlocked both flying and animal mounts, and covered a decent section of the map, but I'm still scraping up some side missions and free roam activities. Most people will probably get what they want out of the game within 20 to 40 hours. Yeah, the game is short, but it kinda works in its benefit. One huge point of contention I have with this game is in its autosave feature. There's no save function to manually save, and in 2023 I find that unforgivable for an open world game. I had at least 2 to 3 times I wanted to go back to later saves for mistakes I've made with purchasing items with my resources, and I wasn't able to do that, so I had to get back to the grind again. It was very immersion breaking and frustrating for me. Not to mention, the intro can take anywhere from 3 to 4 hours to even get into the game, and within that time period I was painfully bored. But once I got deeper into the world, I found myself enjoying it far more, but at times, pacing felt incredibly slow. Story and progression. But don't you worry, I will have no spoilers. A game like Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora is primarily played for the story. This game is a continuation of what both Avatar movies have laid out before us, and they expand upon the lore and even take us deeper into the world of Avatar. The game starts with the player assuming control of a Na'vi child that was born on Pandora and stolen from a group called the RDA. The RDA's goal is to raise these Na'vi children away from their culture with human upbringings, to essentially brainwash them into helping their cause. One thing does eventually lead to another, and they end up free on Pandora, away from the RDA's grasp as strangers in their own homeland. Along the way, you'll encounter multiple different tribes and learn the way of the Na'vi. I mean shit, I'm just gonna say it, this game is very similar to the first Avatar movie, just with a different spin. The gameplay overall is a basic Ubisoft game. There's lots of collecting and free roam activities scattered around a map that gives you XP to be able to get points and upgrade your Na'vi, along with finding and purchasing loot to strengthen their attack and defense. Now, I didn't hate the story to this game, but it was, in my opinion, painfully mid, and I kept feeling like I've seen it all before. There were high moments and low moments, and the story is not perfect. I even had times I got so bored where I needed breaks, but ultimately, I felt like a game that's primarily based around its story. It was just more of a retreading of what came prior but in game form, instead of something totally new like we were sold on in promotion for the game. Exploration. The world of Pandora is nothing short of beautiful and awe-inspiring. There were times while exploring the game's world where I had my jaw on the floor. Now, with this being an Ubisoft game, this game progresses exactly how you would expect. The map is littered with collectibles that will upgrade your health and give you upgrade points, as well as little free roam activities, with primary focus on puzzle solving, along with clearing camps of RDA to clear poison around the map, making it interactable again. It is quite fun at times. My main gripe with the exploration though, especially with the opening 10 hours or so, is that the world felt pretty empty, and a pain in the ass to traverse sometimes. It wasn't until I unlocked the flying mount, which, I'm not joking, took me about 10 to 15 hours of playtime, and I started enjoying the game far more. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora is at its best when the game is progressing quickly, and doesn't try to unnecessarily immerse you into the world of Avatar. I just hope if they ever make a sequel, which they most likely will, that they speed up all the unnecessary fluff within the game, and they focus on making a more cohesive open world, but for the first game it's a valiant attempt that must be given its props. Combat. The game at its core is a first-person shooter. They give you tons of things to play with, such as multiple kinds of bows, guns, and spears. And they even have some more unique kinds of weaponry that you'll only find in an Avatar game. But I'll let you guys figure that out for yourselves. The bows felt incredibly smooth to play with. It was probably my most favorite weapon type in the game, and as it should be, considering the tribal nature of a story like Avatar. The guns in the game, on the other hand, didn't feel so great. People make comparisons of this game being Far Cry but an Avatar, and I understand those comparisons, but the gunplay is severely lacking in this game. It's absolutely pathetic that a first-person shooter in 2023, you're unable to pull up your weapon's reticle. In my opinion, it's cutting corners and it's lazy development. Weapons that felt fine were less precise weapons like shotguns, but if you're using a machine gun, then good luck. Healing within the game is centered around eating food and plant seeds, and you're given a couple heals that you can upgrade as you progress through the game, making fighting more dependent on not getting hit than anything else. Combat within the game at times did make me feel excited, and after clearing an enemy RDA camp, I would get a feeling of euphoria, and that's something that I found was a huge highlight for the gameplay loop of this game. But overall, combat was a wasted opportunity in my opinion, and I would love to see them expand and polish that aspect in the sequel. Difficulty. Much like many story games, there's not an emphasis on difficulty whatsoever. This game has a very forgiving autosave system, and never at any moment did I lose progress. You can change the difficulty at any time within the settings, and there's even an option to turn off hints in the open world, with the goal of making it more immersive. But in my opinion, if you do that, it would become increasingly boring with little to no navigation at all. I originally started my playthrough in this way, and after about an hour, I turned it off and never looked back. Normal difficulty is very easy. As long as you stay within your player's level, you'll crush everything in your path. But if you're experienced at first-person shooters, then I recommend playing on hard mode to make the game more enjoyable. This game is short, so go balls to the wall and just have some fun slaying mobs of RDA. Enemy variety and wildlife. Enemy variety isn't anything too crazy. You have the generic RDA, which are small humans or humans inside of exosuits. These fights are typically very easy, and you can kill them in anywhere from 1 to 4 arrows, depending on whether or not they have an exosuit. Then you have the bulk and meat of the game, literally, which is the wildlife within Pandora. You have all types of animals and plant life that you can kill and pluck along your adventures, that you can cook to obtain food, or mix and match to create crafting materials to upgrade your loot and combat power. And stumbling upon an icon in the wild sure is intense. They even have bigger and badder wildlife, but I'll let you experience that for yourself if you ever pick up the game. Overall, 7.5 out of 10. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora isn't a bad game by any means, but it isn't always a fun game either. The first third of the game takes a very long time to get the ball rolling, and at times, I had to dig deep to push through my boredom, to continue playing the game. The main highlights within the game is of course the main story, and the incredible moments where the wildlife interacts with each other, creating moments you'll only find in a game like Avatar in the open world. For the first entry, this is a commendable effort, and it's by far the best Avatar game we've ever gotten by a long shot. I would recommend this game if you're a fan of Avatar, and Ubisoft's open world formula. But if you're less interested in Avatar lore, or aren't inclined to Ubisoft's open world games, then I would pass on this one. There's a lot to love about Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, including the graphics and art execution, but for me, I just need a little bit more out of my video games in 2023. Now thank you guys so much if you stayed the entire time. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora is not my cup of tea, but maybe it'll be yours. Now let me know in the comments section what you guys think about this. Have you guys played Avatar Frontiers of Pandora? And if so, how'd you like it? Are you an Avatar fan? And if not, do you plan on playing this game? Let me know all of it in the comments section. Now remember to like, comment, subscribe, do anything you guys can to help me. I am just one guy, and I make these videos because it is my passion. So thank you very much. Have a nice day. This has been DrewSpacely. Peace. Yeah, I got a strange feeling he's not supposed to be there right now. I mean, shit. Sorry, one more thing. I wasted a lot of time and energy making this video right here, so please, go check it out.